Hey everyone, this is Alan from BMW Durham, back again with another video. And today I want to talk to you about my first 2 weeks of ownership in the brand new 2022 BMW M240i G42. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is winter driving. And we're in Canada. We've got some snow. It's a little bit warm today. It's been very cold the last couple of days, but it was snowing, and I was on Bridgestone Summer Performance Run Flat tires. But one thing I do have to say is, with the dynamic stability control and the X-Drive system combined, I really have to say that I was blown away that with the summer tires in minus 21 degrees Celsius temperatures in snow, I could not make the car break traction even if I wanted to. Now, the moment I pressed the DSC button to get it into dynamic, then it became a pure drift machine. But before that point, with the summer tires on, I was pretty well fine, and it gave me so much confidence. I was really scared that I'd be white knuckling at home that night when I saw the snow sticking to the ground, but I was actually okay. Now, that does not mean do not get a set of winter tires, especially if you're in colder climates like Canada. I got a set of winter tires on now. I managed to get a set of brand new evergreen tires, 225 40/19 front, 255 35/19 rear, so it's the exact same staggered setup as he had from the factory, and I got it for a really good price. So shout out to Brita Tires in Scarborough. They hooked me up with that one. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about was how different the car feels in the different modes and what type of fuel efficiency that we're able to achieve. So when the car is in comfort mode, the car is really easy to live with, very easy to drive. Just feels like a nice luxury vehicle. Now, if you put the car into Sport or Sport Plus, the whole dynamics of the entire vehicle change. The car gets just much more wild. It gets raspy in terms of sound and starts growling at you, and the whole body stiffens up, and you can tell right away it's a completely different animal once you get into that mode. So I really like that about this car. In my previous cars, if it had different modes like that, it would just stay in the race mode all the time because you could live with it. In this vehicle, I actually like to drive it in comfort mode and kick it up to Sport Plus if I want to drive a bit more spiritedly. I would not have done that in other cars, but in this car I do have the adaptive M suspension, so that's definitely another reason why it's making such a big difference. But it really changes the characteristics so much that I'm actually really appreciating it this time around, where in other cars, like my last car, did have the dynamic chassis control allowing the stiffness to change based on the mode, but it wasn't enough to really change the whole feeling of the car. So I really appreciate that about this BMW. Okay, so we are already at 421 kilometers on the vehicle. I've already gone through a tank and a half, and right now I'm averaging 12.2 liters per 100 kilometers. My average speed has been 53.7 kilometers per hour, and I have tried it in Eco Pro. Eco Pro has been working really good, but of course I've also been using it in sport because I'd like to see what this vehicle can do. So I'm pretty happy about that. I only managed to get about 350 kilometers or so on the first tank, but of course I was driving a little bit more spiritedly. And another thing I wanted to mention is I honestly didn't really care too much about these illuminated M highlighters, but driving at night with these on has been actually pretty cool. I will have to make a little video for you guys at some point what it looks like in here when we're driving at night. But it's not something that I thought I'd really enjoy that much, but I am enjoying it more than I anticipated, so that's pretty cool. So I also have yet to put on the front plate. I've been figuring out if I wanted to do a tow hook front plate, or if I want to actually just mount the front plate bracket. But since this is a Drive Your brand, the car's going back in about a year. I don't know if I want to drill the front plate in, because I don't know if the next person would want that on the car. Another thing I wanted to point out, so everybody knows that BMW is famous for this Hofmeister Kink, which just means that on the C-pillar this goes backwards. Once it gets to that point at the end there, there's a lot of design cues on this vehicle that reflect that Hofmeister Kink. So to give you an example, you can just open the door here. The door handle is a Hofmeister Kink. This whole thing is a Hofmeister Kink. All of these little triangle areas are Hofmeister Kinks. This is a Hofmeister Kink. The entire climate control system has numerous Hofmeister Kinks. The dash layout is Hofmeister Kinks. There's lots of Hofmeister Kinks, and once you have that knowledge, you'll start to see Hofmeister Kinks everywhere. But that was kind of the design influence for that. Not everybody knows that, so figured that I'd include that in the video. Now, for all of you who are living in colder climates, I have turned off the fold-in mirrors when locked the car, just in case if there's any ice buildup. I don't want the mirrors to fold in and then something breaks when I try to open them, because that is not covered under warranty. That is considered user error. And I've also lifted up my wiper blades. So what you do is when you turn off the car, so you turn off the ignition, you press and hold down on the wiper stock, and then the wipers will come up to the service position, allowing you to then lift them off the glass, because they're normally tucked in behind the cowl here, so you can't lift them up. So this way, if it does start snowing today, which the forecast says it might, I don't have to have these stuck to the windshield. Okay, so that was my first 2 weeks of ownership in the brand new 2022 BMW M240i. Being my first BMW, I'm absolutely in love with my car. I'm in love with the brand, and there are even more things about the brand that I love even more after becoming an owner of one of the vehicles, and really getting a chance to experience what it's like for somebody to have one of these cars. It's been a real eye-opener for me, so I really I'm glad that I've made the decision to pick this up, and especially that I decided to pick this BMW up. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.